You, Eurasia Research, for the welcome and the opportunity to present my session on Carpe Diem. A Latin phrase meaning is seize the day. By living life in the present, individuals can become more mindful about their values, choices, their current existence, as well as future. How does it happen? But before we get on to how it can possibly help us, let us talk a little bit about adulthood. In adulthood, unlike in childhood, individuals have a lot more personal, social, and of course, professional responsibilities and commitments. And it's important for us to realize just what is it that we are giving importance to. Do we have a balance in life? Talking of balance, I was speaking to a friend of mine today whom I admire immensely, and she was mentioning about how she balances her personal as well as her professional life. Talking of professional life, we might think that, oh, there are things that we just need to complete, so let us focus only on that. But seizing the day implies a lot more. So how do we tackle the challenge of keeping a balance and focusing on things that truly matter? When I like to talk about seizing the day, I always think about my childhood years. During my childhood years, when my father was extremely busy setting up and establishing his business, what I would notice is he was always present. When I say present, it's about his awareness about what he's doing at a specific time. If he's watching with us, let's say Tom and Jerry cartoons, he would be there, totally involved, enjoying the cartoon as much as we were, or maybe even more. And if he's taking us for a drive, he would be absolutely immersed in that process, including telling us a little bit about the places when we were going in the car with him. So that is something which I learned when I was little, is about how during adulthood, we are able to seize the day and make the most of it. And when I talk about making the most of it, it also comes to the significant fact of procrastination. All of us have moments of procrastination, don't we? But how effectively are we overcoming this challenge? And that is something we are able to improve on if we start making the best of each day. When I talk about procrastination, I remember many years ago, especially during my school years, when I was not particularly keen to ensure that I do the best possible as a student, I would keep having something that would come to my mind that I would get sidetracked with. And I think many of you may still be experiencing that. So how does seizing the day matters? And how does it count? How does it change this habit? Very simple. It helps us to become more purposeful, to become more aware about what we wish to do, how we wish to do, and when we wish to do. So the moment we become aware of this, we start realizing the value of each day, of every moment that we are alive. Another way that we are able to enjoy our life better by following this approach of seizing the day would be through experiences. What is so important about experiences? Now, experiences are important to those who value their time, who value what they give their attention to. And the advantages of following this approach is that you also are able to bring about a certain balance a day. And apart from balance, as I mentioned earlier, it's about cultivating gratitude. How do we cultivate gratitude? When we become more aware about what is working for us, when we become more aware about the opportunities that we find in our lives, we are going to be more fine-tuned, more sincere about making sure that we are grateful for what we enjoy. And this feeling enhances well-being, it enhances overall health, and creates wonderful, beautiful memories for us to cherish as well. And of course, when we talk about seizing the day, another point that comes to my mind is about valuing opportunities. Now, you may think I had discussed about opportunities earlier, but no. When I talk about opportunities, I'd like to tell you all a little story. It's a case which I came to know very recently. I've known a family for many, many years. And when I came to know that their child is getting married at the age of 18, which I consider rather young to be getting married, when they mentioned, my first feeling was of an immense compassion, because unfortunately I was not in a situation to guide the parents that perhaps they need to rethink their decision about getting her married. But she did get married, and she had just completed her schooling and had barely begun her college years when she got married. Unfortunately, she had stopped her college years immediately after her marriage, and a little later, she was blessed with 2 children as well. And I wondered, how is she doing? And the other day when I spoke to her mom, I was extremely happy to note that she's now working after completing her online graduation degree. And not just working, she recently got promoted, and she's currently pursuing her postgraduate studies, which I think is truly admirable. It is admirable for the simple reason that she has been able to grab the opportunities that came her way. And grabbing opportunities is the way that we are able to make the best of our life. And as I'm sure you would all agree with me when I talk about grabbing opportunities, it is about grabbing opportunities in a principled manner, with integrity and with values. To quote someone, or rather an anonymous person, time is a very misleading thing. All there is ever is the now. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to request all of you to ensure that this is an approach that you imbibe into your life, because it is a life-changing decision that you make the moment you start seizing the day. Wishing you all the very best for all your personal and professional endeavors. Best wishes. Thank you.